Welcome to the Ikaricast Classic MvC and with me is
16-bit Jeff.
Well, we're here today to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because there's been a whole lot of details coming out about this game. This game is slated to release in September, so I guess they're like, let's go. I have a feeling there's going to be some exhibition matches at EVO, maybe even.
Oh yeah. No, but even more character announcements at both there, and especially, ironically enough, what we were talking about just recently, E3.
Oh yeah, I can even see a little mini tournament at E3. They like doing those nowadays.
Yeah, because didn't they?
They did that with Street Fighter.
Didn't they do that? Yeah, I thought so at E3 last year, right?
Yep.
Or was it? Yeah, it was E3. Okay.
Street Fighter V little mini tournament before it came out, so that must have been 2015 then, because it came out 2016. Either way, you know what I mean. So about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, we've got a whole ton of details. Let's start off with, I made a list! I never make lists, Jeff. Well, I've been trying to nowadays.
Well, of course, yeah.
And it's usually you who comes up with all the... Actually, came from info you sent, but...
So it still technically came from me.
It's still yeah. I was going to take the card like, oh, wait, no. The links came from you. So first off, on this list, I've made these things kind of out of order. Dang, I'm going to try and make it in order. First off, I want to mention is... It is a 4-button fighter like previous Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Mm-hmm.
But unlike previous Marvel vs. Capcom games, since the first one, it's back to 2-on-2 and not 3-on-3.
Which honestly I think is for the best. I mean, it's funny because when we were talking about this last year when it first debuted at PSX, PlayStation Experience, it's funny that when you look at the gameplay, it really does show that it's not only a combination of the gameplay from the original Marvel vs. Capcom, but also taking some hints and acknowledgments from Marvel superheroes.
Oh yes, which I'll get to. Also, there is a 5th and 6th button, but those are exclusively for tagging in and out, which you can do at any time now. They no longer have it that you have to wait for it says assist OK. You can just tag in and out instantaneously. And the 6th button is for Infinity Stone use.
Okay, so that's... honestly, that's a better setup compared to... In all due respect, I love these games, but how Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 were set up. I did not like the setup because of how your special moves were activated by either the bumpers on the respective controllers of the Xbox One and the PS4. Yeah, I just felt that was just too, honestly, lazy, especially for a fighter. But the way that it's set up for a fighting game, I give Capcom credit. It feels more competitive friendly, unlike most modern fighters, at least.
Staying on the Infinity Gems, there's the Time Gem, the Power Gem, and the Space Gem.
Yep. And
they also give you buffs.
Okay, so basically Power Stone equates to basically plus strength.
A buff to your attack, yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking about RPG terms, we're talking specifically Power Stone basically is plus strength. Time is basically plus agility.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And the Space Stone's a little weird.
Plus magic.
Yeah, there you go. The Space Stone, if you don't know what he's talking about, the Power Stone gives you buff and strength. Time lets you do instant dashes, like Yang's dash in Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
Quarter circle forward kick, and you go, whoop, and he's behind you. Or K-Dash's dash, which does the exact same thing in KOF. And the Space Stone is literally... I wrote vacuum effect. It kind of sucks in the opponent. Kind of like Tager's magnets in Blaze Blue. Because you can't dash, he had to magnetize you, which would suck you toward him, so you could grapple.
Yeah, now I get where you're coming from in regards to you said a vacuum effect. That makes a lot more sense now, okay.
On top of that, when you get enough meter, you can do... Basically, each gem has its own default super combo. Although they're not actually super combos. They're like hyper buffs. So Power Stone gives you even more strength. The Time Stone gives you a custom combo. Kind of like the V-ism in Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Oh, okay, that's great.
And the Space Stone is kind of one of the coolest. It traps your opponent in a box. And your opponent can still block and move in the box, but they can't escape the box.
I saw that one, yeah.
And that's the stones, all their features. As for the gameplay itself, I mentioned instant tagging already. I'll also mention, I didn't mention this earlier, that there's auto combos, just like in Persona 4 Arena and King of Fighters 14. You mash light attack, light punch, over and over, and you'll get a combo. Trying to be more beginner friendly. These don't bother me. I know some people that actually never picked up Persona 4 Arena because of auto combos. Funny enough, these same people picked up King of Fighters 14 as the same auto combos. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. It's just how they're implemented. You know what I mean?
Well, again, we'll get into our thoughts more.
Of course.
What else did I have? Oh, counter switch. Speaking of instant tags, while you're getting beat up, you can basically do like a call-in. If you ever watch pro wrestling, where the illegal tag jumps in and saves the guy from getting pinned real quick, you can basically do that in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. While you're getting beat up, you can call your tag partner, and you're controlling the tag partner while your main character is getting beat up, and you can like save your guy from getting beat up. Kind of like I said, like a tag team call-in.
You know, I'm kind of with the way it's set up nowadays. I think it's better that they ditched the assist.
This is like the closest to an assist. Yeah. And
but I think it's better implemented to how,
because it's not an auto thing. I like that. You can tag in any time, but now it is an auto thing. You have to really think. You have to still control them.
Who knew the player wanted actually more control of their own characters?
Right. KO'd characters stay on the screen after they die. Their corpse. You could call it their corpse, but they're KO'd. They'll stay on the screen after being defeated. So if you're one man down, you'll see your other man right there, lying there, all broken and beaten. And the GameSpot, this was off a GameSpot video I got this info. The GameSpot guy was so confused. He was like, it's like, why would they do this? This is weird. Now, previous Marvel vs. Capcom games haven't done it, but if you know fighting games, a lot of SNK games have.
Oh, yeah.
King of Fighters, speaking of King of Fighters, they didn't quite have your body staying there, but they did have your...
the defeated fighters in the background.
In the background, yes. Power Instinct. Groove On Fight.
Yeah.
Power Instinct 3. Groove On Fight. Your defeated character's corpse would stay on the... not in the background, but right on the floor. And because it's Power Instinct and it's a parody game, you can also pick up your buddy's corpse and bash the opponent with it. I don't see you doing that in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to. You killed my buddy?
Why?
Well, I'm going to use him to beat you.
That never going to happen. You know why? Because they're going but didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you think they got all them big gets?
And finally, my last piece of info is that the down-down inputs are real. If you don't know what that means, there was this whole uproar about Dragon Punches being down-down, but it's not as bad as you think. They're real, but they're not for everybody. Ryu will have his classic Dragon Punch input of that Z motion. Morrigan, however, will have down-down for her Shadow Blade.
Soul Fist? Oh, okay. Yeah, Shadow Blade.
So that's what's going on. Some characters have some more simplified, some won't. Morrigan is... Oh, I forgot. There is actually one more thing I forgot about the gameplay. Push blocking. Speaking of Morrigan, she made me remember. Push blocking will now work against projectiles. So people cannot spam Soul Fist all the time like Chris G would.
Oh,
you have an answer for that now.
Oh, thank you, God.
And that's all my info. Jeff, what are your thoughts on all this? All this info that I just dumped on you.
Thanks to this info dump, I feel a lot better in regards to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite compared to how I've overall felt about playing both the vanilla version and the ultimate version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Mm-hmm. Like, this is, to me, what MvC 3 should have been instead of the MvC that we got.
I agree there.
And not that, but since we're talking about MvC Infinite for the time being, I'm one of those rare people that like the art style in MvC Infinite more than the art style was given in MvC 3, because where I understand where Capcom was coming from, that high contrast did not work at all. The overall art design for MvC 3. So I think Capcom is doing the right move in regards to Infinite's art design.
So you do... I was going to ask about what you thought about the art, and you answered... What do you think about the inputs? the auto combos and the down.
I think this is my problem with MvC3 once more. The way that they made it simplified, it wasn't simplified, it was casualized. This is a better understanding of how to simplify a game's mechanics, especially that for fighters, to please both newcomers and longtime pros like you and myself, you know what I mean? Because honestly, granted, I knew it wasn't fully Capcom to develop it, I knew it was aiding, but still, the way that they both made that input for the fighter overall was the wrong way to go to please both camps, because they felt like they pleased more of the newcomers more so than the longtime pros who were playing that, you know, with the not only original but also 2000's MvC2.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta give Capcom credit for another thing too. That I'm glad that this is the first time that Capcom, from what we know thus far, we may not know who's really developing, but for the time being, this looks like a Capcom fully developed fighter, the first one in a very long time.
Yes, if you guys don't know, the last fully developed Capcom fighter was
JoJo's?
1999 JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yep.
And I just guessed.
It was JoJo. It was by the time of CVS2, even though CVS2 is my favorite fighter, not fully Capcom in-house developed.
Really?
Well, like I said, the last one was JoJo.
Yeah, but I never knew that.
CVS2 came out 2001.
I learned something new. I never knew that.
I mean, before somebody kills me. Anything else you want to say? I'm double checking on my info.
I've said what I've said about MvC Infinite thus far. I'm really liking what I'm seeing thus far.
Double checking that info. Apparently, Capcom did create CVS2, but it was totally created for the Naomi arcade board. Maybe that's why people don't consider it completely in-house, even though it is. Anyway, so I guess it's my turn, eh?
Yep.
You mentioned a lot of stuff. Now, CVS3 didn't feel as streamlined. Like you said, they tried to make it more casual-friendly, but it didn't really feel casual-friendly. It just felt a little bit easier than Street Fighter 5's, or 4 at the time's, inputs, but still needed to be top-tier good to do those kind of crazy moves that, especially the ones like Chris G was doing. You needed top-tier execution.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm clicking everywhere, and I'm sorry about that. I like this. The reason I like it is because unlike Street Fighter V, Marvel vs. Capcom has always been about appealing to the wider audience, even though it also is about the competitive side. The tournaments, they made everything easier since MvC1. I mean, the way you do supers in Marvel vs. Capcom has always been like, what? Hadouken motion forward plus both buttons, just that's it.
Yep.
Which is seen simpler as doing as in a traditional Street Fighter game is 2 Hadouken forwards or something like that. Some crazy command like Guile's super flash kick. Oh god, I had trouble doing that command. I always had trouble with that.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad that the down input isn't for Ryu. Like, it's like they're saying, like, we want to make it easier, but we also know, like, some stuff you just don't mess with. Some stuff, if it ain't broke, don't fix. Which Capcom seems to get. And I'm glad that this... And speaking of in-house, that's why I'm glad this is in-house. They know how to approach a balance better than Dimps. They know how to make that balance, and it's like, oh yeah, we used to make games. Do you still remember how? Sure do. Well, let's do it then, bruh.
All right.
So I'm also glad about the 2v2. To me, that makes the the pacing of the fights feel better. 2v2, and I like the instant tagging. I like the counter hit deal they got there, where you actually take control of the character. It isn't just a simple assist button and you just pick which move they do. And on the graphics, I don't get it. Why do people think it's ugly? Granted, it's not all anime style, but they're Marvel characters.
Because it's still in its alpha, that's the reason why.
Thor and Hulk look fine to me. They look like they should. And as for the Capcom side, they look good. They don't look like they've been... Matter of fact, I like the Capcom side designs more than I like how they look in Street Fighter V. They look like they should here. They look like they're actual designs, whereas the Street Fighter V, it ain't as bad as 4, but they still kind of look like meaty action figures.
Well, here's the thing. I would say that 4 and 5 equate each other because they're both respectfully bad. Because 4, they look like they were, nothing but,
Diet
meat
sausage.
top of the pot of meat. Where I feel like 5 in some ways is worse because it looks nothing more like clay.
Yeah, they look like clay. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's a better analogy. They look like clay.
And honestly,
Whereas in this, they look like character models.
I'm not gonna lie, because I think Capcom screwed the pooch. Because honestly, I was one of those fortunate sobs that did buy the collector's edition near the game's launch.
Yeah,
not on launch, but near its launch, like its launch year.
Well,
I was looking at I was looking at the botched up art book for the game that came with the collector's edition.
Yeah,
I wish they stuck with that realistic art style.
Yes!
That they originally started with, because that would have worked for 5.
I know what you're talking about, yeah. Also, I like the idea of the characters being on the dead right there on the ground, but I guess I'm with the GameSpot guy being confused, even though like he acts like he's never seen it before. Like you play like fighting games like me and Jeff have, you've seen it before.
But we've never seen it in a Capcom game before. We've seen it with its rivals, like with SNK specifically, mainly SNK.
They should do it like King of Fighters, where they're in the background instead of on the floor. But I noticed I don't think the engine allows for that.
True, but at the same time, I do like it because it does give a consistent flow between rounds.
But what I'm saying is, I want to see it if they're allowed to do what Groove On Fight does.
Okay.
Then it'd make more sense to me, where you can
that would
pick them up and throw them.
That would be hilarious.
And I'm messing with my mouse again. I apologize. It must be like a tick I have. I don't know.
Right.
Now, we did that. We talked about what characters we want to see in our last Marvel vs. Capcom video, which you can check on the playlist on the channel. That's like our second ever Ikaricast Classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our second, because our first was a PlayStation Experience. So, if you want to know about that, go back to that video. We're talking about the nuts and bolts here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about what else I like. I like the Power Stone buff you get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not the Power Stone, the Space Stone. The buff, the buff you get, and the super meter you get for it.
And all that, but I do like the Infinity Stone
really
system
unique.
that they implemented, because this is what the gem system should have been for Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I forgot about that, even though I wrote it.
Because that's my problem with people who say, "Oh, that's the main reason why Street Fighter Cross Tekken is a shit game." It's a great game in its own right if that was implemented better. The gem system.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the gems. The gems weren't inherently bad. It was implemented bad. Yeah.
I mean, hell, I would argue still if the gem system was implemented kind of like how the Infinity system is being implemented in MvC Infinite, I would wholeheartedly say that I think that game was a better game than Street Fighter 4 and even 5.
Yeah, I just get hate for that too.
I don't care.
Yeah, bring it on. That's what you say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I got to say. I noticed I went about as long as you did. So, in closing, we're hyped for it. We were iffy at first. Weren't we?
Oh yeah,
but it wasn't about the art. It was about how they make it
the
more
overall
casual.
package. Yeah,
which we're hoping it's not MvC3 again, and it's not. Thankfully.
Thank God.
So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. And if we get enough of these comments and stuff, we might even do a mailbag. So, hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get commenting. Let us know. Tell us how much we suck. Right? That's what YouTube's for, right? Telling people how much they suck.
Oh, no, wait, you can't, because you can't use the word suck because that's against the guidelines now, right?
Everything is. Breathing is against the guidelines.
Exactly.
So with that said, anything you got to plug?
Is against the guidelines.
Anything you got to plug, Jeff? Noting that we've already plugged our E3.
I am working for an upcoming review for our buddies over at Hero Club, so look forward to that. It should be going up very, very soon. I can't specifically pinpoint when, but it should be up at least hopefully by the end of this coming week. Not this week, but this coming week, I should say.
The week this video will probably go up.
Yeah, funny enough.
If I'm that slow.
But the best way to keep updated with me and what's going on my end is follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/16bitjeff.
And like I said, we've already done a video. Check that video out about our E3 plans. We've got big plans. We do it every year. Check that video out. We got a whole nother channel all about just purely gaming, because even though we're talking gaming here, this is about everything. But on that channel is where we have our E3 stuff. On this channel, too, I'll cross-post them this time, because we really want to let people know. But at the end of the day, that E3 live stream will be over under the Game Riffers Twitch, under their name. That's why I'm mentioning the other channel. As for me, twitter.com/IkariRadio, at IkariRadio, IKARIRADIO, Facebook.com/FighterCows, just like the name of this channel, and tapas.io. Just search New Courage over on tapas.io, and you'll get my webcomic. Or mixtape, that's my other webcomic. Check those out. Just viewing those webcomics gives me ad revenue, so if you want to help out, and you don't have any money, that's the way to do it. And Hero Club, like Jeff said, and Broken Infinite, and that's it, I guess, right? Oh,
yep.
The Geek Fighters Twitter.
Of course.
That's, just like the name says, twitter.com/thegeekfighters.
Geek Fighters.
Which is where you'll see matter of fact, I'm going to have to ask Jeff if he can tweet the drop on there.
Oh, definitely.
And I think that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. 2 words left for me to say. Nimyo. Kanryo.